Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio Link with Biters, where there has been a little bit of a gap. I'm not sure of the exact number of days, but it's something along the lines of between a month and a half since the last episode. So yes, I was away for a time and then lazy for a time, and things are now getting sort of back underway again. And yes, I apologise to those who've been waiting for far too long for just the next episode. And it's going to be the 100th episode next episode as well, so people have been waiting for that as well. But we will get it underway. And count yourself lucky if you're watching the playlist, and it's just been like 2 seconds for you. But I guess we'll just continue where we left off. I'll just carry on putting the wall in as I was. We were working our way down from that point up here. And we're basically trying to just wall off this whole... well, it's hard to say. We've got a lot of factory to cover. We'll probably put multiple walls in to protect, well, to have redundancy and to protect different things of varying importance. So there are some areas of the factory like this, potentially, that we could afford to lose and then regain later on. So we might put a wall behind it in case it falls, and then a wall in front of it to also help, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're trying to just work out how we're going to plot this at the moment. So there was something that people told me in the comments, which is that I removed some pipes, and it does indeed look like I have. So I'll see about putting them back. I don't think I have any handy, so I'll just make some more. That'll be fine. They've probably gone over to the storage chest or whatever, and I'll use them later or something. Hopefully it was an even number, or that'll be really annoying. But it is fairly likely that it is. So yes, my apologies again, but I guess the only thing to really do is just carry on. That is what everyone was wanting. Oh, we need another underground pipe to complete it. And that shouldn't get in the way of our wall. See, it might take me a little bit to sort of get the hang of things again, remember what everything's doing. I mean, whenever I sort of pick up something after a while, I make sure to watch the previous episode and remind myself. And I mean, it's not like I've forgotten the entire layout of the factory, just particular, like, mostly it's just stuff that I've already said and not said and things like that. But there are some good things that have come from it. Let's see about, there's our blueprint. We'll probably just want to do another one there, and then turn, and then continue there. Or maybe just do a, like, custom wall structure here, because it's a little bit fiddly. There's that worm in the way causing all sorts of annoyance. I guess we could just sort of shift it back a bit, shouldn't be a huge problem. Yeah, we'll do it like that. There we go. Hopefully it won't get any biters trapped in it. Well, that went wrong. What? Oh, hold on, is it... did I move the blueprint as I used it, or has it messed up? Wait, where did it go? There it is. As I look at it there, it appears to be fine. The only thing that's gone wrong is that the turrets are in a different place. This could be something to do with the blueprinting bugs that we were having before. Yeah, so the blueprint is actually giving a different order than what it says it is, which is interesting. This was something I was worried about. So during the time where, like, just as I sort of shut down video production for a while, there was a problem with some of the Factorio updates that messed up blueprints. And I saw a little bit of that at the very end, just with Railworld. And it appears that the effects have been worse than I hoped. I hoped that everything was just sort of cancelled out and it was all fine now, but apparently it may be the case that blueprints have been sort of, they all need to be redone. So what I imagine I can do is, if I just make a new blueprint, maybe just wipe out an old one. Actually, let's see what this does. Is this... that's all normal, that's all fine. That should be. It was just the turrets that were messed up. So I'll just erase it, it's fine. And then I'll just copy this. Like so. And we'll give it some icons. Maybe I'll just hold on. Say turrets. I'm just gonna say turrets, walls or something. Because I was having trouble recognizing what it was earlier. So I need to do a better job of sort of differentiating between the different blueprints. There's walls. That works. That should help me. That looks vaguely like what I'm building or something. Okay, so now we've got it again. We've remade it. If we order it now, it is ordered correctly. Okay, so yeah, what's happened is it appears all blueprints, or well, some blueprints, depending on their contents, have been sort of borked. And so they just have to be remade and done again. That's not a huge thing, because generally if you've got a blueprint of something, you've got a version of it in the world anyway, so you can just find that thing in the world and remake the blueprint from it again. So that's not a huge thing. It's unfortunate, but it was something to do with them trying to slightly change the basic way of how blueprints worked, and it had some sort of unprecedented effect that caused all blueprints to break. And I think they attempted to fix it, and they sort of half did, but there were other things that were still wrong, and it appears that the ultimate result was that they couldn't quite get old blueprints to still work. Maybe it's because this save file has been through that update. I'm not sure whether it has or not. It might have been. Then again, I was using blueprints right at the end of that episode, so perhaps not. These blueprints were working fine, but for whatever reason old blueprints that contain certain things such as turrets have been broken, and we've had to remake them. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's interesting that I just sort of missed that entirely, because I was gone for the time that that happened. Because I imagine I would have been talking about it a fair bit, like addressing each stage of the problem that it happened in episodes as the updates came along. But it's just sort of some unknown now, because I never got to properly look at what was going on. There was just a bit of weirdness with the concrete blueprints in Rail World. Right, so yeah, I put that in there, that's all fine. And I guess just put one here. We don't even need to go that far along, though. That'd be... Well, I guess I could put one there and then just carry on here. Yeah, that works. We'll just do it like that. Yeah, that should work. And then we can continue as normal this way. And onwards till we decide to turn or we hit a problem such as that pumping station there, which is definitely in the way no matter what I do. I have to have another bit of a corner there, or remove the station, which isn't a terrible idea. I mean, well, actually, the pump jacks are still working quite well. It's quite funny, actually, because when I originally, this is like back in episode, 2 or whatever, I was talking about how I was worried about the oil situation. I was worried that there just wouldn't be enough, because if you look at the map, there's really not that much oil. I put the oil settings on maximum, and everything else was on relatively normal stuff, and there's just... that should mean that huge oil deposits appear, but there's just nothing. There's a couple of little ones dotted about, but it's nothing like what you would expect, and it's something to do with the biters. For whatever reason, the fact that there are huge amounts of biters here has affected how much oil is spawning. And I've counteracted that as much as possible. It's resulted in not that many around, but as it's turned out, it's been fine. We've not really used that much oil. At the end of the day, it's been okay. We've we've got 4 refineries, which is a pretty decent amount, but they're rarely all running. It's probably been a long time since they've all run. I see we set up the flamethrower stuff at the end of the last episode. Let's see how it's gone. Is it just completely filled up already? Yep, 250, all sorted already. Very nice. We don't have any level 2 modules to put in it, but now it doesn't matter. We don't need any more production for a good long while. Though I've thought about it a bit more, like having the flamethrower turrets, because that was the reason I set that up, because we were going to get flamethrower turrets in 0.13, which is now extremely imminent. And so I'd set that up so that we would have some ammo ready for if we wanted to use them, but now I think about it, it seems like a terrible idea, because it will burn the forests. But at the same time, is it a bad thing that it burns the forests? I'm not really sure. Because pollution is... I mean, I don't know how much pollution has an effect. Oh, but speaking of that, in 0.13 there will be a new command you can type in. I forget what it's called. But you type in a particular command and it will tell you what contributes to the biter's evolution factor, which I think is a fantastic idea. Because it would answer the question that I keep asking, and then having answered and forgetting again about pollution in this, which is I don't know how much pollution has affected the biter evolution rate, but once 0.13 comes along, I could type in that command and be completely sure. And I can find out what's had more of an effect. Ooh, biter taking out a tree there. Clearly they're not a fan of them, so maybe if we burned them, they'd be happy. But yeah, I mean, depending on how much pollution affects the evolution fact, we might care or not care about burning down the forest with flamethrowers. It might turn out, depending on how fire works, it might be that like a forest that goes through a biter base will be really useful to us, because it might be that by setting the forest on fire, you are setting the biters and their bases on fire as well, which would be awesome. Because the thing is, biter bases are like quite squishy relative to the things they produce. Like behemoth biters, which we may be seeing at some point soon, are far more difficult to destroy than bases. So like a good tactic for taking out a base is to just lead the biters away, run back, and before the biters can catch up with you, just blowing up the base, because it's easier. And then you don't have to worry about any more of them spawning. There's so many things being delivered to me, this is crazy. I guess the bots have had a long way to travel to get it all over here. But yeah, there's a lot more we've learned about 0.13 since our last episode. And I've talked about some of the stuff in Towns and Railworld, but there's so much that's come along at once that I can't even like address it all at once. Like I ran out of time in the Railworld episode that I did. There was a whole, like, I think I wanted to talk about the new train art, and I don't think I even did. And I just was busy talking about so many other things that had happened in the meantime that I didn't get round to it. And so I finally used my title, Trains of Thought, which I'd been holding for a good long while, because I was waiting for a time when it sort of made the most sense. Right, let's continue this on. But in a way, it's I think it's particularly good for this series. Like, some of the series I'm doing, it's... actually, I don't want a gap here, do I? In, like, Railworld, it's annoying because I was doing some stuff... I was making particular decisions based on the fact that 0.13 was a while away, but then I didn't come back until it wasn't a while away anymore, so I built that whole new station and set it up for 0.12 train dimensions, because I expected to be using them for a while, and then it turned out that I was away for, like, pretty much most of the time between then and 0.13, and suddenly now it's very imminent, and so it wouldn't make much sense to set up something, assuming the rail, the train dimensions are staying the same, because they're not, for sort of any amount of time. Like, it could be this week that the update comes out, it could be next week, or it could be in a month because something horrible goes wrong. You never know. But yeah, if I'd known that there was only going to be, like, potentially one episode of Railworld between me doing, like, setting up that station and a 0.13 coming out, I wouldn't have bothered with it. But it's worked out well here, because I was having some trouble working out how I was going to set off the biter war. Because at the moment my plan is sort of like to switch everything off and then set things up and then switch it all on at once. Which should work, but it's clunky, and there are some issues with it, like the biters having free reign while the power is off, potentially. I'm just going to get this sent to the storage chest. It's clogging up my inventory too much. I'm still in logistics range, so it's fine. But something coming in 0.13 is power switches, which is going to be extremely useful for setting the whole thing in motion, because instead of having to just have a place where I set up a single gap in the power network where when I fill it in, all the power will be connected to all the rest of the factory, I can now have a circuit thing, which can do a bunch of different functions, including switching a bunch of different switches at once, and allowing multiple connections to be made across the base. Because one danger was, if I was, like, my power production is so sort of ingrained in the rest of the factory that it's extremely difficult to separate it and have it determined by a single link. Like, there's a lot of power stuff down here, which is good, and then here, but the wall is here, and the wall needs to not be connected to the power, so we need this very long string of power poles that don't at all connect to any of this, and have it all just come to sort of one central point, like here or something. And it was just awkward and sort of difficult to make work. But now I have power switches, I can make it so there are multiple places where there are breaks and connections between power and powered areas, and have it so that I can flick a switch and then it flicks a bunch of other switches and just does it all at once, rather than having to run around and flick all these manually and have parts of the factory activating before other parts and endangering the inactivated parts with the activated parts aggroing the biters. I don't know how well I explained that, but it'll all make more sense soon when I start actually setting the thing up. And we're getting closer and closer to it. I wanted to do it for episode 100, but it became clear, like, by episode 90 that that was definitely not going to be the case. Like, the wall is not at all ready, a bunch of stuff isn't ready at all, and yeah, so it's going to be later on, as soon as I can, but, well, as soon as I can while still expecting that I won't just die horribly. Like, I want to have a reasonable chance of survival before I try starting the war. And I'm going to make that as soon as possible. But that doesn't even make sense, really. I'm just trying to I'm trying to set it up till I'm happy with it. And then when I am happy with it, I'll go. Sort of thing. So, yeah, it could be another 30 episodes. I hope it's less. I won't be surprised if it's less, but it depends. There is something funny I've seen, because I think there was a point, like, round in, like, the 60s of episodes. I felt like there were a lot of people telling me to just get on with it and declare war because it wouldn't go wrong. And now, I'm seeing a lot more people saying, no, you're not ready. Wait till you are, do more preparation. It's quite funny that that's happened, that it's sort of... Like, as time has gone on, people, like, even though I've progressed, people have realised that I'm not ready by me getting more ready and seeing sort of how much is still needed. It's been a while since I've made episodes, and I think I'm sort of being a little less coherent than usual. I'm trying to talk about a whole lot at once. Yeah, well, we've really mined through this copper here. Like, that was like more than half the miners I just cleared away. Which is good. I'm trying to get this cleared out and get it all, like, if I can not have to protect this, that's great. If all the ore can already be stored or made into plates or whatever, then that saves me the effort of having to protect this place later on. So there's still, like, these central bits are going to take a while yet. Like, this one in the middle still got nearly 10,000 ore to mine. I might increase the density of it just to get it mined quicker. Like, these belts are not at all full, so this can definitely go quicker. And I mean, I'm trying to build the wall along here right now, and if that is gone, then that helps. I can just go straight through it. So, I guess I will do that for the last bit of the episode. Oh, my inventory's full again. I will once again dump a bunch of wood. Can I... There we go, pick that up. And I guess just remove everything. Do it all again. Get it as compressed as possible in the middle. And we probably, like, even then, we'll probably only need one belt now. And definitely not all this red belt stuff here to try and compress it. This bit looks weird. It looks like there's like a bit of ore on top of it, and it's confusing me. So yeah, episode 100 will not be the one where we declare war, but I do have something in mind for it, which you'll see soon enough. I guess we'll leave that one there. That's as good as it can be. Like, I can't just let my first 100th episode of everything, of anything even, slip by without any mention, even though it's, in a certain way, it's an arbitrary number, but you've got to pick something to be an important milestone. Right, that's everything cleared, and we can start working out. Oh, I've run out of space again. What's all this random stuff? Stupid amounts of belts, because I've just been mining a bunch. I guess I'll dump some of that and get it back later. A bunch of modules. Have I got 2 stacks of miners? Actually, doesn't look like I have. No, that's being pointless there. Yeah, we've got like 3 full stacks and a bit of modules, so that's definitely a part of the problem. There we go, we'll grab that. We'll start working out what to do in the middle here. I guess maybe have a central... We'll not have a central one, we'll have it like this. And then we can have some more miners on the outside mining even more. There we go, this is definitely going to get through it a bit quicker. I will have to have these like this. I can't... Well, I guess if I can at least do that, and that will get it mined a little bit quicker. And I can run them all along the end of here, because this is all... This all has some mineable resources to it. We can do that, that should be fine. This stuff isn't so important. I mean, this is going to get mined well before everything else is, so I guess it's not so urgent to have it at a high speed on the outside. I think that's everything we can cover. Actually, we could do that. In a certain small way, it helps. I think other than that, there is nowhere I can put a miner now that would, well, apart from there, but it's not important. That could help speed things up. There we go. There we go. Ooh, we're at 20 minutes already. These always go faster than I expect. Though maybe that's just because I'm used to recording hour-long stuff at once. And this is most definitely not that. There we go. This should work, right? That might be okay. Just have it go like that, and then we'll get... Ooh, I haven't thought about power yet. It's going to be a little bit difficult. We might be able to reach everything from the outside. And if we can't, we can just do a bit of messing about with it. There we go. Inventory's much clearer now. Right, substations. Yeah, we can definitely cover everything in the middle, that's fine. Put one there. Put one... Now we'll get a long-range power pole as well, which we already have one of handy. Just plonk it like here. That should be okay. Then we can have this one here. One over here. We run out, I'll craft one more. And put it over here. There we go. Plenty more miners running. That's looking much better. Is it building up? Oh, it is building up a little bit, actually. So we will get some fast belts here. And I think that will compress it enough so that one yellow belt will work anyway, maybe? Not quite sure. I'll leave it for now, it's fine. Yeah, we sort of shut down the copper mining for a while. Well, the thing is now, if that's going to be mined soon-ish, that one now has 13,000 ore to mine. But yeah, now that we have that, I feel like leaving this for a while just to see if that can be mined before we get back to it. We might start the walls from the other end, but we are out of time for today, so I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.